Hello everyone, it's your Bud. In today's video we're going to be talking about one of the new subclasses for Dungeons & Dragons, the druid subclass, the Circle of the Eternal Glade. So let's start with the blurb here. Those who pass initiation into the Circle of the Eternal Glade are welcomed as new warriors in the cosmic struggle against darkness. Only those who love the beauty and life-giving things of the world are allowed entry, as the druids of the Eternal Glade are all chosen personally by their Nymph Patron. Then enter a gleaming, fruitful place where dream and reality blur together, and where the weary can find rest. This glade of mystics and sages is where those who safeguard ancient knowledge and rites whisper primal secrets to each other in druidic. All in the Circle of the Eternal Glade seek to fill the world with dreamy wonder, while protecting the realms from undeath, walking the fine line of near immortality that is the path of becoming an Arch-druid. Though death holds no sway over your patron as long as their glade endures, and they have seen many mortal lives pass like the seasons, they still teach and believe that to become an Arch-druid of the Circle of the Eternal Glade is to become part of the Circle of Life itself. So, the patron of the Eternal Glade lives as long as their glade endures, and for those who didn't pick it up, they are a nymph. So the nymph lives as long as their glade endures, and yeah, that's pretty cool. And they can leave their glade only while carrying a piece or a part of it with them. For example, an acorn, a flower, or maybe an animal born or raised within the glade. You have to choose, and you get to choose the glade type from the Circle of the Land. So it could be like a glade you can be glades from all over the world. Remember, as long as it has a connection to the Fae, then it doesn't really matter where the glade is. It can be an oasis in the strangest of places. That rhymes. If your patron leaves their glade, the world outside becomes grayer for the nymph until they return for a long rest in their glade. And it can become even more than just gray. The nymph patron gains 1 exhaustion point per week spent outside of their glade, unless they meditate with a member of their glade circle, removing 1 exhaustion point per 8 hours of long rest achieved through meditation. Your patron requires more than a dull dream to relight their spark of life within. You can be that spark. Just as a mortal needs 8 hours of sleep, a nymph of the Feywild needs 8 hours of dreams, and they cannot dream without a connection to a living thing, and that's you. Now, your patron can also be teleported back to their glade with a special Walker in Dreams teleportation circle that you gain at level 14. This can be cast as a ritual by the druid of the Eternal Glade on any willing nymph or arch-druid. That's pretty cool. So you can get any nymph back to the Eternal Glade of your patron nymph, or you can send any arch-druid straight to your patron nymph if they're in their glade, or if your nymph leaves the glade with you, you can teleport that nymph straight back to her glade, and that way they don't suffer all the grayer and all the exhaustion and all of that. So you can teleport your nymph back to her glade, or any arch-druid to the nymph in her glade. That's kind of neat. Alright, so starting at level 1, you get Among the Dead. Starting at first level, you learn the Spare the Dying cantrip. You also have advantages on you also have advantage on saving throws against any disease. Additionally, undead have difficulty harming you. If an undead targets you directly with an attack or harmful spell, that creature must make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. An undead needn't make the save when it includes you in an area effect, such as the explosion of a fireball. On a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or forfeit targeting someone instead of you, potentially wasting the attack spell. On a successful save, the creature is immune to this effect for 24 hours. Okay, so they can save and be immune for 24 hours. An undead is also immune to this effect for 24 hours if you target it with an attack or a harmful spell. Alright, so undead have difficulty harming you unless you attack them first. Then they have no qualms about it. And at level 1, you get an expanded spell list. I will discuss the spells later. They will be at the bottom of this. There's a bunch of spells that this class comes with, so yeah, we'll discuss that in a moment, because first of all mentioning, you pick the glade of your nymph, and that is tied with some Circle of the Land things, but there's a few other expanded spell lists that all tie up, so we'll go into spells later. At level 2, you get a bonus cantrip. When you choose this circle at 2nd level, you learn 1 additional druid cantrip of your choice. And also at 2nd level, you can regain some of your magical energy by sitting in meditation and communing with nature. Typical level 2 druid stuff. During a short rest, you can choose expended spell slots to recover. The spell slots can have a combined level that is equal to, less, or half of your druid level, rounded up, and none of the slots can be 6th level or higher. You can't use this feature again until you've finished a long rest. So for example, if you're a 4th level druid, you can recover up to 2 levels worth of spell slots. And then at 2nd level, you also get Balm of the Summer Court. At 2nd level, you become imbued with the blessings of the Summer Court, your font of energy that offers respite from injuries. You have a pool of Fey energy represented by a number of d6s equal to your druid level. As a bonus action, you can choose any ally you see within 120 feet of you and spend a number of those dice equal to half your druid level or less, and you can roll the spent dice and add them together. The target regains a number of hit points equal to the total, and the target also gains 1 temporary hit point per die spent on them, and you regain the expended die when you finish a long rest. So that's pretty cool. At level 1, undead have trouble hurting you. At level 2, you can recover some spell slots, and you can also heal people a bit. Okay, and if you haven't figured it out now, it should be pretty obvious that this isn't actually one of the real Unearthed Arcana subclasses. This is a class that I made just this morning. I've been feeling pretty bad, and I made a new class. It is a, what did I call this thing again? The Pala-Drui-Lock. That's right, this is the Pala-Drui-Lock. It's Paladin, Druid, and Warlock all together in one class. You get a lot of things up to level like 15, but then you only get there's level 15 and then level 20. There's nothing in between that. So you get everything in the first 15 levels. So yeah, let's go through this. So this is a Nature's Wrath. It's Channel Divinity. This is a Paladin ability. So at level 3, you can use Nature's Wrath to channel Divinity to invoke primeval forces to ensnare a foe. This is from the Ancient Paladin. As an action, you can cause spectral vines to spring up and reach for a creature within 10 feet of you that you can see. Spectral vines, sort of like Log Horizon. The creature must succeed on a strength or dexterity saving throw, its choice, or be restrained. While restrained by the vines, the creature repeats the saving throw at the end of each of its turn. On a success, it frees itself and the vines vanish. So yeah, it can free itself and the vines just disappear. And you can also turn the faithless. You can use your channel divinity to utter ancient words that are painful for Fae and fiends to hear. As an action, you present your holy symbol, and each Fae, and this holy symbol wouldn't be a holy symbol, it would be a relic of the glade. So yeah, relic of the glade, not holy symbol. So you present your relic of the glade, and each Fae or fiend within 30 feet of you that can hear you must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is turned for 1 minute or until it takes damage. A turned creature must spend its turn trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it can't willingly move into a space within 30 feet of you. It also can't take reactions for its action. It can only use the dash action or try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. If there's nowhere to move, the creature can use the dodge action, and if the creature's true form is concealed by an illusion, shape-shifting, or other effect, that form is revealed when it's turned. So that's pretty cool. So you can turn on your Fey charm and either frighten people or summon some spectral vines. Now, at level 3, this is level 3, yeah, at level 3 you also get to choose your circle spells. So yes, circle spells, your mystical connection to the land infuses you with the ability to cast certain spells. At 3rd, 5th, and 7th, and 9th, you gain access to circle spells connected to a land where you became a druid. Choose that land: Arctic, coast, desert, forest, grassland, mountain, or swamp. All of these can have their own glade of their own style and unique appearance within, each with their own unique nymph that runs the glade, which would be really, really cool. A swamp glade, a grassland glade, a desert glade, I don't know, and consult the associated list of spells. So yes, circle spells, there's a bunch of some really cool spells for druids, but it didn't feel quite powerful enough, and I was already mixing my druid with the Circle of Dreams, and then I thought, well, I like ancient warlocks. difficult terrain, costs you no extra movement. You can also pass through non-magical plants without being slowed by them and without taking damage from them if they have thorns, spines, or similar hazard. In addition, you have advantage on saving throws against plants that are magically created or manipulated to impede movement, such as those created by the Entangle spell. And at level 6, you also get Defy Death. Starting at level 6, you give yourself the vitality when you cheat death or when you help someone else cheat it. You can regain hit points equal to 1d8 plus your constitution modifier, minimum of 1 point, when you succeed on a death saving throw or when you stabilize a creature with Spare the Dying. So you have your druid healing mixed with this Undying Warlock's Defy Death, and it works pretty well. It's not, I mean, you're only getting 1d8 plus con back whenever you stabilize a creature. I mean, how often are you going to be doing that? So it's not too overpowered, even though you can only use it once per long rest. Now at level 7, you get Aura of Warding. Beginning at 7th level, ancient magic lies so heavily upon you that it forms an eldritch ward. You and friendly creatures within 10 feet of you have resistance to damage from spells. And at 18th level, the range of this aura increases to 30 feet. Now this is from the Ancient Paladin, and I thought it was pretty cool. So you have these sort of like the Undying Patron's the ability to, you don't need to breathe, you don't need to eat. You have the Druids thing of you don't age as much, you don't do this, but then you also have this Aura of Warding from the Paladin that just completes it. So yeah, resistance to damage from spells. It just says spells. That's pretty cool. At level 10, you have Nature's Ward. We're already halfway through the class already. When you reach 10th level, you can't be charmed or frightened by elementals or fae, and you're immune to poison and disease. So remember, you can use your channel divinity to frighten fae or fiends, but now at level 10, you can't be charmed or frightened by elementals or fae, and you're immune to poison and disease. So yeah, we have this aura of warding of, let's see, what is it? 10 feet aura of warding at level 7, but then also immune to poison and disease at level 10, so it's starting to build up now. It's starting to snowball. Starting at 10th level, you can use the hidden magic pathways that some fae use to traverse space in a blink of an eye. This is the hidden paths from the druid of the Circle of Dreams. As a bonus action on your turn, you can teleport up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space you see. It's just Misty Step. Alternatively, you can use your action to teleport one willing creature you touch up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you see. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, minimum of once, and regain all expended uses of it when you finish a long rest. Now there are some where like you appear somewhere, and then whenever you appear there, you're actually invisible until you take your next turn, but this one's not that. So it's just plain Misty Step at level 10, and then at level 10 you also gain Undying Nature. This is the Undying Warlock one. Beginning at 10th level, you can hold your breath indefinitely. You don't require food, water, or sleep, although you still require rest to reduce exhaustion and still benefit from finishing a short and long rest. In addition, you age at a slower rate. For every 10 years that pass, your body ages only 1 year, and you're immune to being magically aged. So when you hit level 10, you're immune to poison and disease, you can hold your breath indefinitely, your body ages slower, you're immune to being magically aged, you have resistance to spells, and I don't know, it's starting to build up there, and like you can heal a bit, you can move through things untethered, you have your circle spells, you can heal people just a bit. I don't know, I think it's pretty good, and you can recover your own things. And then what was one again? Let's just go all the way back. Yeah, and then it's just more Spare the Dying. So yeah, now things are gonna start going really quick here because we only have 14, 15, and 20 left. So Nature's Sanctuary is level 14. When you reach 14th level, creatures of the natural world sense your connection to nature and become hesitant to attack you. When a beast or plant creature attacks you, that creature must make a wisdom saving throw against your druidic spell save DC. On a failed save, the creature must choose a different target. So this is basically Nature's Sanctuary is the same thing as that undead thing pretty much. or if the attack automatically misses on a successful or the attack automatically misses. That's pretty cool. On a successful save, the creature's immune to this effect for 24 hours. So if they save, they're immune to it. If they fail, they have to choose a different target or miss me automatically. That's pretty cool. So that works for undead plus beasts or plants now. And then, yeah, that's pretty neat. Creatures aware of the effect before it makes its attack. Okay. Walker in Dreams. This is the one that you can use to send your nymph back to the glade. Now, this is one of my favorite things for all of the Circle of Dreams, and it's pretty much the only thing that I like about it except for the healing pool that you get. But yeah, I love this one. At 14th level, the magic of the Feywild grants you the ability to travel mentally or physically through dreamlands. When you finish a short rest, you can cast one of the following spells without expending a spell slot or requiring material components: Dream, with you as a messenger, Scrying, or Teleportation Circle. Now, this use of Teleportation Circle is special. Rather than opening a portal to a permanent Teleportation Circle, which in this case it would be permanent to the Nymph's Glade, it opens a portal to the last location where you finished a long rest on your current plane of existence. That's not true. When you attune and actually are welcomed into the Circle of the Eternal Glade, you have this last location be the Glade. So yes, so yeah, the use of the Teleportation Circle special, it opens a portal to the Glade. If you haven't taken a long rest on your current plane, the spell fails but isn't wasted. So if you're on a different plane and you haven't been there before, then you can't teleport. So this thing would still work. I think this wouldn't teleport you back to your Glade if you were on a different plane. That's just cheating. But yeah, so yes, this only works if you're on the same plane as your Glade, or otherwise you teleport to the last place you took a long rest. But yeah, I love this Walker in Dreams. It's so cool. Plus you can just cast Dream with you as the messenger. That's a cool one as well. And then Indestructible Life, also at level 14. When you reach 14th level, you partake in some of the secrets of the Undying. On your turn, you can use a bonus action to regain hit points equal to 1d8 plus your Warlock level. Additionally, if you put a severed body part of yours back in place when you use this feature, the part reattaches. So yeah, that's pretty good. You can use that. I can't remember what that spell is called, but basically you get one of those spells just to reattach things. That's neat. And once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. Okay, that's good. You can get the reattaching your body part feature back with just a short rest. Now we're on to 15 and then 20. There's only two things left. So at 15, we get the Undying Sentinel from the Paladin, the Ancient Paladin. Starting at 15th level, when you're reduced to 0 hit points and you're not killed outright, you can choose to drop to 1 hit point instead. So if you go to 0 but you still have death saving throws, then you get to 1 hit point instead. If you go to 0 and they took 3 death saving throws away automatically, then you don't get this. So yeah, if you have any saving throws left, you get 1 hit point. Once you use this ability, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Okay, you suffer none of the drawbacks of old age and can't be aged magically, which that already happened before from the Undying Warlock, but yeah, now it's doubly you can't be aged magically. And then level 20, Elder Champion. So yeah, the Druids absolutely suck when it comes to classes. They have literally they have 1, 3, 6, 7, 10, 14, 15, 20. And that is with a Warlock, a Paladin, and 2 different Druid subclasses jammed into one. This is 4 subclasses put together, and we still only have 1 at 15 and then 1 at 20. And 20 is Elder Champion. At 20th level, you can assume the form of any ancient force of nature, taking on any appearance you choose. For example, your skin might turn green or take on bark-like texture, or your hair might become leafy or moss-like, or you might sprout antlers or a lion-like mane. Using your action, you undergo transformation for 1 minute. Then you gain these benefits. 10 hit points. Whenever you cast a paladin spell, you can use a bonus. Enemy creatures have disadvantage against just your paladin spells and channel divinity, and you can't use it unless you take a long rest. Just for curiosity, now for perspective, there's Guardian of Nature. It's a spell from Xanathar's Guide, is level 4. itself, concentration 1 minute, and you become a nature spirit. A nature spirit answers your call, and you transform into it. So yeah, your level 20 ability for the druid is actually just a reskinned level 4 spell. I mean, how terrible is that? You can turn into a tree or a primal beast in this one. Primal beast, like, this sounds so much better than the level of the Pala-Drui-Lock here. So yeah, so this was seeming super stacked. Oh, and up here, so these are the 4 intros to the, let's see, the Oath of the Ancients, the Circle of the Land, Circle of Dreams, Undying Warlock, and then these were just bits that I took together and I made this blurb. I made it up just combining a whole bunch of these things together. But yeah, the Circle of the Eternal Glade seems like it's gonna be overpowered. It's got 1 paladin, Ancient Paladin, it's got 2 druids, Circle of the Land, and I said I'd go over spells. We'll do spells now. But yeah, Circle of the Land and also Circle of Dreams, and it's also got the Undying Warlock, but still we have Spare the Dying, bonus cantrip, you can recover some spell slots, and you can heal. You can channel divinity to scare away some people or make spectral vines hold on to someone. You get your circle spells, then you're at level 6 and you can move through difficult terrain. That's actually really useful. That's sort of the ranger-ish thing that I love about it. I really like this. It's just druid though, but I love it. Then at 6th level, you get vitality to cheat death whenever you help someone do a death stabilizing throw. So that's going to be pretty much none. Then Aura of Warding at level 7th, finally you start to get resistance from damage from spells. So at 7th level, you finally start to pick up some usefulness. Everything up until level 7 is going to be relying on your spell choices. And that is why I left all the spell lists so full. You get bonus spells for Undying Warlock, you get bonus spells for Druid, you get bonus spells for lots of things. So yeah, level 10 Nature's Ward, can't be charmed or frightened, and immune to poison and disease. So finally, resistance to spells, immune to poison and disease. Hidden Paths, you can do that, it's just Misty Step. And Undying Nature, hold your breath, and can't be magically aged. Still require rest though. Then 14th level, you can sense nature, so nature things don't want to attack you. So now it's undead and nature things don't want to attack you. And then at 14th level, you can either cast Dream, or you can do that teleportation circle thing that takes you back to your glade. I think I really like that one. And then also at 14th, you learn some of the secrets of the Undying, where you can reattach some parts if they fall off. And at 15, if you're reduced to 0, you get 1 hit point instead, unless you lose all of your death saving throws, then you don't get that. And then at 20, you can turn into something for 1 minute. So it seems stacked, but it's not, but then it kind of is, because we go over to the spells. So you get the Paladin Oath spells. You get Oath spells as the Paladin level listed. 3rd, Ensnaring Strike, Speak with Animals. 5th, Moonbeam and Misty Step. 9th, Plant Growth, Protection from Energy. 13th, Ice Storm and Stone Skin. And 17th, Commune with Nature and Tree Stride. Now, Commune with Nature, you also get, do you get it with all of the Druid of the Lands? No, you don't. Okay, that's interesting. So you could potentially choose a Druid of the Land that doesn't have that if you want to min-max your spells here, because that's the only min-maxing in this class, is picking the right circle of land to min-max. Then for the Undying expanded list, Undying also gets Spare the Dying, and that doesn't count towards the number of spells. At 1st level, you get False Life and Ray of Sickness. At 2nd level, you get Blindness, Deafness, and Silence. At 3rd level, Feign Death and Speak with Dead. At 4th, Aura of Life and Death Ward. And at 5th, Contagion and Legend Lore. So these Undying spells are going to be basically your bread and butter until you get to 7th level, because you only have the 3rd level spells, the 5th level spells. Those are the only Druid and Paladin ones you get until 7th level. So really you get your expanded spells from the Undying, plus just 4 extra spells from this and 4 extra spells from that. Now you have extra spells, but that doesn't mean you have extra spell slots, and it's a druid and you have to prepare your spells per day, so having a larger list of spells isn't necessarily a negative. So yeah, I like the Undying expanded spells. They're not too overpowered because they're all level 5 and lower. Now we'll go over, well, we don't need to go over all of the, let's see, are there more? Oath of the Ancient. No, I just put it down here because I like Arctic. So in my last Druid one, I chose Arctic because it has Whole Person, Spike Growth, Sleet Storm, Slow, Freedom of Movement, Ice Storm, Commune with Nature, and Cone of Cold. And I think those are all pretty awesome. So yeah, in mine I would have the Oath of the Ancient, the Undying expanded spells, and the Druid of the Arctic, plus 1 cantrip, because that's what you get at level 2. So it seems super overpowered, but really is it? Considering you don't get most of your spells till after level 7, and you're a druid, so you have to choose which spells you prepare per day. And then once you hit level 15, you just have to wait from 15 to 20, and the only other thing you get from 15 to 20 is one of these spells here, the Commune with Nature and Tree Stride. So those are the only 2 spells you get between 15, actually that's the only progression your character gets between 15 and 20, unless there's ability things. I haven't looked up what level you get abilities, or like when do you get abilities as the druid. I'm not exactly sure. I think it's 18 maybe for ability score increase, so maybe there's an ability score increase as well between 15 and 20. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this one. And sorry if my voice was a bit all over the place, but it's been a pretty painful day, and I couldn't really get up off the couch. I was watching some D&D videos, and I learned about the Warlock Paladin, and I thought that was really, really cool. And then the thing that got me into Dungeons and Dragons in the very, very beginning was something called Gift of the Green Lord. It was an Undying Warlock thing, although it was a Fey Undying. So I always thought, like, what if you can combine the Fey and the Undying into one Warlock? Because technically, a Fey is an Undying patron. If they have a glade and they're immortal and a nymph doesn't die as long as their glade exists, the nymph's body can be killed, but then they just reform in their glade. I've mentioned it in my Natural Liches video, but a nymph's glade is their phylactery. So a nymph is technically an Undying patron, and I thought, if I had a nymph, but I was an Undying Warlock, does that mean I could take Green Lord's Gift? But Green Lord's Gift was eventually changed. It was just an unearthed Arcana, but they changed it and they made Green Lord's Gift only work if you have a familiar standing beside you, and it's different now, so it doesn't work. And plus it's only great old one, Pact of the Chain, so it's unfortunate. But the idea here was inspired by that. Mix a druid, mix a paladin, and mix the Undying Warlock. Yeah, the Ancient Paladin. Let's see, Circle of Land plus Circle of Dreams for Druid, and then the Warlock of the Undying. And yeah, that is the Circle of the Eternal Glade. Those who pass initiation, welcomed as new warriors into the cosmic struggle against darkness. I really, really like this. This was something that I've been thinking of for the past few days, so let me know if you enjoyed this video. Like I said, sorry if my voice is all over the place. Yeah, so I just had to get this done. It's been a really, really painful day, and truthfully, I didn't even go to bed last night. I started working on this when the sun came up, and I'm hoping I'm gonna get this done and maybe just run to the grocery store and go to sleep, and then I don't really know. I don't know what I'm going to plan to do, but I just wanted to get this video done at the start of the day so I can just sleep all day, because I don't know if I'll be able to get up off the couch. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this Pala-Drui-Lock. Let me know down below, is it Pala-Drui-Lock or Pala-Drui-Lock with an I? I think Pala-Drui-Lock sounds stupid. I think Pala-Drui-Lock just works. So yeah, this is the Pala-Drui-Lock, or if you can think of a different combination, Drew-Lock Pal, or I don't know, I just think Pala-Drui-Lock works. So yeah, this was the Pala-Drui-Lock, the Circle of the Eternal Glade, also known as the Nymph's Glade. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this, leave it a like and leave any comments down below about anything about this. I'm interested to see. This was a rough draft, and since I'm feeling bad, I couldn't spend all the time just going over all the details. So this is a rough draft. Let me know what your ideas down below. Yeah, you can subscribe for daily videos. I make at least one video every single day, and leave any questions or suggestions in the comments below, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day.